Okay, so moving on, we've got two sections of our site done, the hero section and the features. Now we're going to move down to the about us section. So if we go into customize and about, the section ID we can keep the same again. The title, about us, that's fine. The description here, we need to change. Now what you'll notice is this description is only filling in this side of the box. In order for us to put information here as well, we need to go down and select a page to show content from. So I'll show you exactly how we do that again. First of all, let's find an About Us section on Gary's site. Okay, so this first bit we can copy into here and fill that bit out. Now, like I said, we want to put something over here as well. So what we're going to need to do is click Save and Publish, go back again into our pages and add new. And this time we'll add an About page. And if we get some more content to put in there, so we can copy this bit, paste it into there. Now you can see in what I've just copied, there's a lot of hyperlinks to his playlist, his books. That might be a good idea depending on what the site's for. I'm not going to go through and change them, so we're going to leave that as it is and click Publish. And if we then go back into our About section, if we select About here and save and publish, when we refresh that, you see that the content we put on our About Us page is shown up on the right hand side here. Now it's not showing up in full, and I'll show you why that is. It's because we need to go in here and change this to page content and publish. And now we've got all the content from the About Us page on this right hand side. Now if you did have a bigger story than this or more information you wanted to share, on the page we just edited, you could add another line underneath that just said read more, and then you just hyperlink it out to a proper About Us page. But for this, like I say, we're going to keep it as a one-page site. So we're going to move down to our next section, which is this video lightbox down here. This is great for sending people out to your YouTube or Vimeo account or anything like that. Obviously you don't need to include it. So if we go back, if we didn't want it here, we could just click hide this section, and what it would do is just take it out, so then it skips straight down to services. We're going to keep it in. Now for the title, you want something relevant, so we're going to write click here to watch Ask Gary V, which is sort of Gary's YouTube series, I guess. So all we need to do now is grab the link for the YouTube channel or the specific video, whichever you want, and then put an image in for this backdrop. So I'm just going to find an image. Okay, so there we have it. That's a really simple section to complete. I've just put a picture of the Ask Gary V show, which is obviously relevant to what we are linking off to. We don't need to put an overlay on. You can if you want. It will just be an overlay over the picture you've chosen. Then we'll click Save and Publish. So if we look at our site so far, we've got this top section. We have a feature, a social media feature down here. We've got the About Us section and then the video section that we just added. I don't think we need a gallery section. I wouldn't have anything to put in there. And I don't think there's one on Gary's actual website. So what we're going to do is just hide it. So we just tick this box up here to hide the section. If you were going to use it, obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. I believe that the Facebook and Instagram are premium features, so you'd have to create a page for the gallery and then get a gallery widget to put your images or things on there, but it's not too hard to figure out. The next section is services. So if we go to the demo site here, we can see the services basically linking out to blog posts. Now because we've already got that where it says latest news, we're going to use the news feature as our links out to a blog. So we're going to hide the services section as well. If we go into here, we're going to hide that section. Now clients, this is something we are going to use. So on the demo site, what they've used it for is we've been featured in and then have companies that they're featured on. On Gary's actual website, there is also a section like that. So we're going to recreate something similar. For this one, we'll keep the ID the same again. The subtitle, we could put this as a title. All it's going to do is make it bigger, as you can see. But we're just going to keep it how it was, so the subtitle. We're going to change this to Gary has been featured in. We're not going to put a description in there. All we're going to do is put logos of certain companies that it's been featured in. This is really simple to use as well. The only thing you need to decide is how many you want. So we can have 4, 5 or 6. We're going to go for 5, and then we need to click on item here, and we'll just click add to add the logos. So I'm going to go through, add 5 logos in here, and then I'll come back. Right, so I've gone through and got 4 logos for us. As you see, I haven't put anything in the title and I haven't put anything in the URL. You could put, for example, the forms website in here, in this box here, sorry, and that means that whenever someone clicks on the logo, it will take them straight there. That's up to you. I've left them blank. If we save and publish this and just check on our site, see what they look like. So there you can see they've all popped up. You might want to go in and change the size of certain images. If you don't know how to do that, I'll quickly show you. When you go to add an image, so if we add, what was this, the New York Times, we can click edit image down here and it'll open up a new page for us. And then from here we can actually change the dimensions of the image. So if I want to make this smaller, I could change this to 400, and you would see the second dimension changes automatically so we don't stretch the image out. I'm going to leave it as it is, but that's something you can do if the images don't match up. It saves you having to edit the image outside of WordPress and then come back in. So I'm going to leave that and click update. The next section, which if we go on to the demo site, is this bit here. So they've got some fun facts about our agency. So what we could do there is change this to Gary. We're not going to put a description in because they haven't got one there, and I think that looks quite nice as it is. Obviously, you can put whatever you want. If you put a description, it's going to show up like that. So you could actually make it a text, just a pure text section if you wanted to. We're going to go ahead and copy what was in the demo there. So if we scroll down again, we can set the number of contents, the number of columns to display. I think we'll go with 3, and we'll add an item. Now on here they have projects completed, positive feedback. So we want something related to Gary. So I suppose I could say number of daily VEE episodes, or we could just put daily VEE episodes and then put the number as, I don't know, 278, and then for that we can put an icon. So this is his YouTube show, so we'll probably get a YouTube icon in there. Before, number and after, these are just the text before and after the number, so if I put something in here it will appear, and obviously after the same. We can go on custom color, so we can pick a blue, then we can add another item. And obviously we've selected 3, so we'll add a third. Then this one we could say, okay, so now we've gone through and finished this little section as well. We've got daily VEE episodes, Crush It Books sold, and VaynerMedia clients. You could put anything here, you don't even have to include it. If you don't want to include the section, you just go up to the top and click this little hide section button. But we're going to go and preview on our site, see what it looks like. Okay, so now we've got this next section, which is the latest news. We're going to use this to link out to our blog posts. So on the demo site, you can see here they've done the same. They've got the images, the titles, and a little bit of a insight into the blog, and then they've got these buttons to read more. If we go on to the Gary's actual site, he has similar things going on. So here he has some blog posts that he's wrote. They're obviously a larger scale, but it's the same kind of idea. So what we'll do is we'll go out of here. We'll go into latest news. Now the section ID is news, that's fine again. Instead of latest news, I'm going to put latest blog posts. We're not going to have a subtitle in there, and we don't need a description. So we scroll down to the content. It says how many posts you want to show and number of items per row. So we want 3 per row, and at the minute we've got 3 to show, so it will only show 1 row. If I was to change this to 6, once we've created them, it will show us 2 rows of 3, so I'm going to keep it at that. And then we've got the option here for the load more post button, which is here. If we leave it as it is now, it's going to be the same as it is on this demo site, so they click and it loads more. If we change this, for example, to custom link, what it would do is when they click on that, it will take them to another website or another page, so that's another option for you there. And then hide, obviously, if we want to get rid of it, if we only want like the newest 3 or 6 posts on there. We're going to keep it as it was, and then we can change what it says on the button. So it says load more news, we're going to put read more, and we're going to leave it at that. Okay, so I'm going to go through and quickly make 6 blog posts just so you can see how they sit on the website. I'm not going to go through and show you exactly how to set up your blog and all the categories because we've already covered that in one of the previous projects, but I will go through and create some sort of fake blogs just so you can see how they sit on the website. If we go back to our site, rather than creating the pages, we're going to go to posts and add new, and here we can just call this test blog 1, and we can write, let's get some text from here. Actually, I'm going to make them real blogs, so I'm going to copy the title they've got on here, and in fact I'll end the video now, I'll create these and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so there we go, I've created 3 blog posts now. They are just copied straight off of the Gary Vee vlog here. I've copied the image and the text. So inside you can see I've got the title, I've got a brief bit of the text in there. Obviously you'd fill out the whole blog if it was a real site. And then I put a featured image down here. Now this is important because it's going to show up on the front page of the site. Like I said, I'm not going to go into any more detail in the categories or anything because we've already gone over that. So we'll click update, and if we refresh our live site, you can now see we've got the latest blog posts, and the 3 posts I just made are showing up. Obviously if I added more, when I clicked read now, it would show them. I haven't, I've only got 3 in there, so that's all we're seeing. We're coming to the end now, we're on the last section, the contact section. You'll notice below there's a few more. These are all premium, so you need to buy the premium theme to get hold of them. So we're going to finish on contact. Everything so far on there we can keep the same. We want to say keep in touch and contact us. Fill out the form below and you will hear from us shortly. That's all fine. Now the section content is going to ask us to post a shortcode for a form. It's recommending contact form 7 as the plugin to use. I'm not going to recommend that one. I'm going to recommend the one I always recommend, which is WP Forms. So if you don't have that, we'll go and get it now. So we add new. If you just search contact forms, it will come up here, and it's the one with the bear on it, WP Forms. So we activate that, and then we find it on the left hand side and click add new. And then we just want the simple contact form, the same as all of our sites. I'm going to do what I normally do, which is I'll click on this and go to advanced and change it to large, just so it fills out the screen. All we need to change, or at least check, is on the notifications the email address. If it says admin, it's going to be the admin for the WordPress site, which can be fine if that's the email you want. If not, you can change it to whatever. So we could have garyvee.com, somewhere you're going to see the messages come in, and then we'll click save. And then once we've X'd out of that, we can see the overview of our forms, find the correct one. You want to copy this bit of shortcode here. So we just copy that, go back into appearance and customize. And we just paste it in the bottom here and save and publish, just so we can check it actually worked. And there we go, we've got a form and it's all working. You could fill it out and test it, send an email to yourself if you weren't sure. Now another thing, if we look on the demo site, they've got some social media and a telephone number down here. We can add that. All we need to do is where it says contact detail items, we click add a new item, not add item, and the title could be, so on here what have they got? They have Facebook, so if we were Gary Vee on Facebook, we could do that and then search for a Facebook icon. And then in the custom URL, there's where we'd put our actual Facebook page. And then we can add another item. If this was for Twitter, we could put @GaryVee, and again find the Twitter icon, and in here put our Twitter page. And then we can add another one for our, what have they got? We can add a phone number, so I don't know what that would be, and then get the phone image from here. And the URL, we wouldn't need one for that, of course. And then all we need to do is click save and publish. So we refresh, and you can see now we've got our Facebook, Twitter, and phone number. These two our hyperlink to our Facebook and Twitter. The phone number still highlights, but it doesn't go anywhere because we've not linked it to anything. You could put anything up here, any kind of social media. These orange colour they've got here, if we didn't want them to be that colour, what we could do is go back and go into theme options, and then we can go to styling and we can change the primary colour. So we could change this to a green or a red, and you'll see this button changes as well. If we change this to a reddy colour, it means the primary colour for our site is now this red. So we click save and publish, and on our site here you can see the button here is that red we chose. If we scroll down, the lines underneath the blog post is that red, and these buttons at the bottom are red, and of course this button as well. So any extra feature on the site that has like a predetermined colour is going to be whatever that primary colour is. So I'm going to end this lesson here. We've pretty much done most of the site. All we've got left to do in the next video is the menu at the top here, and then we need to put a footer in at the bottom, and then we should be good to go.